Hi everyone, I'm Obi from Middle Eats and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Macarona Bechamel. This baked pasta dish from Egypt has layers of creamy bechamel and hearty meat sauce. I'm sure you'll love it and this will become a household favourite. The ingredients you'll need are 250 grams of flour, 1.5 litres cold milk, 250 grams of butter, 4 teaspoons of salt, 2¼ teaspoons of pepper and a pinch of nutmeg. You'll also need a litre of crushed tomatoes, 500 grams of penne pasta, 2 onions, 500 grams of minced beef, 1 garlic clove and an egg. To start, peel both of your onions. For the meat you want a small to medium diced onion, and for the tomato sauce you want a medium to large diced onion. You want them to look something like this. Next you'll prepare the tomato sauce. In a pot over a medium heat, add a tablespoon of butter and let it melt. Add your large diced onions to the pot and cook for around 2 minutes till the onions start to go translucent. At this stage, add your crushed tomatoes and rinse out the container they were in with a small amount of water. You can make crushed tomatoes by blending fresh or canned tomatoes in a blender with a small amount of water. Mix your sauce and add in 1.5 teaspoons of your salt and 1 teaspoon of your pepper. Once the sauce comes to a boil, cover it with a lid, leaving it slightly ajar, and put on a medium to low heat to simmer and reduce for about 45 minutes, stirring occasionally. Once the sauce has reduced to about 1/3 of the original amount, you can remove it from the heat. For the bechamel, you'll need a large non-stick pot. Add all of your butter and melt it on high heat. Keep your flour nearby and the milk in the fridge till needed. Once the butter has melted, add all of the flour and immediately stir to combine. You are looking for a wet dough to form that clumps together. If your bechamel has the texture of wet sand or is not sticking to itself, add more butter a tablespoon at a time. Once you have a wet dough, keep stirring and cooking it for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, add around 150 milliliters of the cold milk and stir it into your dough. Mix it thoroughly until no milk is left in the pan and then repeat the process, adding more milk in batches of 150 ml and stirring it in each time. There's a lot of stirring involved, so feel free to count this as your daily workout. You want your bechamel to end up quite thick and to look like this. If your milk finishes before it looks like this, add more a little at a time. Add 2.5 teaspoons of your remaining salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper, and then grate in a very small amount of nutmeg. Mix to combine and taste your bechamel to make sure it is seasoned well. For your minced beef, put a small amount of oil or butter in a non-stick pan on high heat. Crush your garlic clove and add it to the pan. Stir the garlic for around 30 seconds to cook it, then add your onions. Add the remaining salt and pepper and cook the onions until translucent, then push to one side. Add your minced beef to the pan and press it down. Let it sit for around 3 minutes until it is cooked on one side, then flip it over. After a few more minutes, break up your minced beef into smaller pieces using a stirring spoon and mix in the onions. Keep breaking it up until the pieces are fairly small and cook for a further 5 minutes until brown and cooked through. Boil some water and cook your pasta according to the instructions on the packet or until it is al dente. Transfer your meat into a small mixing bowl and add about half of your tomato sauce. Mix it together and you are aiming to combine them till the meat is fully coated. If you need, add more sauce a bit at a time. Reserve 4 to 5 tablespoons of sauce as we'll need it later on. Put your cooked pasta into a large mixing bowl and add 2/3 of your bechamel to it. Mix the two to combine and add more bechamel until your pasta is heavily coated. You should still have around 1/3 of the original bechamel left when done. Prepare a deep baking dish for assembly. The ingredient amounts will be perfect for an 8 by 13 inch dish. Add half of your pasta to the baking dish and press it down, compacting it and removing any air bubbles. Try to get the pasta as level as possible. Next, add your meat mixture to the baking dish on top of the pasta, making sure to get an even layer and covering all of the pasta layer below. Press this down again to fill in any gaps. Follow this up with the remaining pasta. Add it all into an even layer and compact once more. Make sure to fill in any gaps as you don't want any sauce escaping from the layer below. At this point, clean up your baking tray from any spilt bechamel or tomato sauce, and then add your remaining tomato sauce into a thin layer on top of the pasta. Make sure to spread it out evenly. Next, add your remaining bechamel to seal all the layers in. Press your bechamel all the way to the edges and cover up all of the tomato layer from below. I like to use a spatula to get a nice and smooth finish on the bechamel. Rub it back and forth until the surface is smooth. Finally, you'll need to egg wash your bechamel. Beat an egg in a small ramekin and brush or pour it over the top of the bechamel. When ready to bake, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit and place into the centre of the oven for about 45 minutes until golden brown on top. Once cooked, remove and leave it to cool for at least 30 minutes so the bechamel can set up. When cooled, slice it into your desired number of portions and serve immediately. I hope you enjoyed this video and will give this recipe a try. All the ingredient amounts are in the description box below. If you have any Middle Eastern recipe requests, please leave a comment below and I'll add them to my list. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another video.